Say, hey, hey, G, hey, E, we represent.
Good afternoon, everyone. Here is on the Anambra State, particularly Opiweka Axis in Anambra. Today, tragedy has happened, of which I don't know how to explain it. You can see many buildings are being burned down. The fire service people are nowhere to be found, and there is no water to quench this fire. As you can see, I'm reporting live. This is for Opiweka, onitshafire, Anambra, down to Ochanja Market. The fire has not consumed many places. This is bad. 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 Oh my good God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
There's been reports that the numbers of casualties are yet to be ascertained, because yesterday there were reports that a family, a mother and a son, were trapped inside the fire. And then there's also been reports that the numbers risen to 3, and then I saw another report of 4, but then the casualties hasn't been ascertained. But the president did put up a statement and sympathizing with the casualties, the people that were involved with this, families of the deceased. So, which begs the question of what can we, because there was a similar occurrence last year, and there's been other similar occurrences of tankers blowing up and people dying and all of that. What can the government do to fix this?
I think it's proper planning. At the end of the day, it just boils down to proper planning. If the conversations that happened at the time this happened last year in Lagos was anything to go by, we would have seen, I don't know, some active steps being taken to ensure that these risks of these kinds of things happening are kind of mitigated. But you can obviously see that nothing has been done. You understand? Like, nothing has been done. And if, like, results will show, like, when a system is properly structured, well planned, operates excellently, the results will show for it. Do you understand? Maybe not immediately, sometimes, but over time. But now you have a case of, do you understand, maybe poor road management, do you understand, poor planning, and whatever. So, like, it's no surprise. Like, when certain things happen, you kind of expect it to happen. Sympathizing with the Nigerian people or the family of the deceased is a fallback option. Everybody expects that you should say it. You'll be highly insensitive, and it will not be good for your government for you to say that. We expect that. But to show that you care for the Nigerian people will be us seeing you actually taking steps, active steps to correct these things that are obviously already happening, which will boil down to proper planning. Finding, maybe scheduling times for these trucks to move on the road, do you understand, or putting proper traffic laws in place that ensure that the regular Nigerian person is not at risk of this kind of thing happening again, especially for fuel tankers, things are highly flammable. You have to be concerned that accidents happen, and you have to be ready for that. It's part of proper planning. Like, proper planning will see that, oh, I tackled all the risks involved, and I'm ensuring that the roads are as safe as possible, do you understand, at whatever points in time. So, for instance, if I'm going out at, say, on a suggestion would be, okay, restrict their road time to, say, sometime in the evening, say anytime from 8 p.m. So anyone who is at home, who is out by 8 p.m. knows, oh, I'm going to meet trucks on the road by so and so time. And these trucks are specifically tankers. Do you understand? So I have to be extra careful. But when you have everybody going wherever they want to go, recently you had a gridlock at the Apapa gridlock thing. It's just telling that not a lot of attention is being placed on ensuring the Nigerian roads are safe.
So let's also talk about the responsiveness of government agencies. This could, there's been tweets out there that the fire service failed its people because people were reaching out, and then the fire wasn't quelled on time.
It goes back to what I was saying before. about a poorly planned and managed system. It's everywhere. We have this habit of, in Nigeria, we have this habit of being so comfortable with mediocrity. Do you understand? Like, you have a fire outbreak. I've not heard a case where, oh, there's a fire outbreak, say in countries in the US. Do you understand? Where systems are optimized as possible, and you're like, oh, the water tanker or whatever is arriving late, or the fire service is arriving. Like, it doesn't happen. So it just goes back to a poorly planned and managed system. And what does that speak of us and the results that we're expecting? Of course, there will be fire drills. Of course, people will die. Do you understand? Is it surprise? So it's a thing of, we have to go back to proper planning, go back to the drawing board, and ensure that Nigerian people are as safe as possible on Nigerian roads, that our systems, our processes, particularly as regards to safety and security, are well managed and optimized.
Fantastic. Finally, so we've talked about the role of the presidency, we've talked about the role of agencies, and now to people, because we've seen reports that of where tankers, there was like an explosion, and then people, or let's say a tanker fell, and people do not take necessary precautions to avoid that. You see people scooping from the tankers. You see, we've had reports like that.
Well,
so how can we better educate people to stay safe?
So I would say that goes two ways. For me, I think I saw that video where like running all over the place, getting fuel from the tanker that falling down. And for me, that particular video was funny, and it speaks to one thing: poverty. I saw free fuel to fuel my generator when there is no light. I'm not thinking of running to safety. I'm thinking, I want fuel, I want light. So it goes back to a poorly planned system. If my initial fear is not, oh my God, I don't have money, I need fuel, I need this. If my initial thought is not need, I wouldn't be running towards where danger is. I will be running from danger. You understand? Because what can the world? But what are you properly educating? Who are you properly educating? Is it the person that is looking for where is next, or his daily bread is coming for next, or who exactly? Like, we have to be fair. Like, one thing leads to another thing. It's a whole system. Management is a whole system. So it's one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. So if you are saying, oh, I don't want these people running towards where danger is, if anybody's pointing fingers there, he's saying, why are these people running towards where danger is? How can I ensure that these people don't have any need to run towards where danger is anymore? Then we cannot start talking about educating them on whatever traffic laws or whatever restrictions we feel have to do with safety and whatnot.
Thank you so much, Shem, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So it's been another episode of Rubbing Minds Plus, and we do sympathize with the people, the families of the deceased, the families of people who are affected by this this tragedy.
Yeah.
Words will fail me to convey how I feel about it, and from us here, the government needs to do better, our agencies needs to do better, and as a people, we need to do better. My name is Desmond, and I was joined today by Shimon.
We represent.